Hi, I want to show you one of David's favorite recipes from Crazy Busy Keto. It's called 5-minute lasagna. And why is it your favorite?
It's quick and it's delicious.
So in the book, I dedicate it to David and Jonathan and Grace, and I say because of you three, I'm crazy and busy. And so this is what David can make for himself, or I can make for him quickly when I've been testing recipes and they failed, or when I've been busy all day and haven't cooked. So this is like when he's really hungry, and things taste better when you're hungry. So this is like when he's really hungry. And you're gonna see, there's a recipe, but you're gonna see from the way we put this together that it's really pretty flexible. Like I measured it out, and so when I did it, I measured it so that it would make 2 ramekins. And I really love, you can put it in a ramekin like this with a lid. These do not have lids. These are like Michael's for $1. And you can go ahead and make it ahead of time, put it in the fridge, and then you'll see, just make it in the microwave. But David doesn't love these.
You need bigger servings.
He thinks that these are too small. I made these and he came home from work and I was like, he looked at me, he's like, is this a snack? And so even though this is 2 servings for me, it's not 2 servings for him. So you can make it in a bigger bowl. This is actually like a 2-cup bowl or 4-cup bowl. Can you see it on there?
It's got to be a 2-cup bowl. That's not big enough for a 4-cup bowl.
But anyway, and then we got these at just like the Dollar Tree, and they're great too, and they're microwavable because they're glass. So anything that's microwavable, and this can be baked. Their baking instructions in Crazy Busy, I think 10 to 12 minutes at 350. But anyway, we're going to make it and show you how simple this is. So you want to make it in yours, and I'll make it in the ramekins?
You'll have to remind me how.
Okay, so it's super easy.
Because I've never made it before.
You're just putting that's 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon. The whole thing calls for 4 tablespoons. So I'm just putting 2 tablespoons of this tomato sauce in the bottom. And what I love about using this tomato sauce, this is Aldi's. And so it's 8 ounces of tomato sauce. I'm actually going to need another can, I think. It's 8 ounces of tomato sauce and it's perfect. It just, look, I opened it and I'm shoveling it out of there. So yours is bigger, so you may need to get more tomato sauce.
I'll
But anyway,
just make one.
you just put it in there. And the seasoning, you can separate it. Now it calls for like a 1/2 teaspoon. This is just Italian seasoning, dried Italian seasoning, and sprinkle and sprinkle. And you don't have to put it just like this. And you may want more, you may want less. And the same thing with the garlic. I'm just using the little pinch of garlic. David doesn't love garlic. I could put a lot more garlic in mine than he would put in his. So that's another thing that we love about this recipe, is you really can customize it to what you like. Oh, you're just making the one big one?
Yep,
Okay.
but I put a lot more Italian seasoning in mine because I love Italian
Well, and
seasoning.
you can put more later. We're going to layer this up. So now,
Way too much garlic for me.
that is way too much for you. Now just put some Italian sausage in there, just like you would a lasagna. So instead of taking the time to make the meat sauce, and let me tell you what we do with this. You can use, I'm using Italian sausage. You can use just hamburger meat. So let's say you have some leftover hamburger, or I'm really bad to make hamburger. What are you laughing at?
That's not enough. We need more sausage.
That's plenty. My goodness. Okay, well, you're going to put layers, so there's going to be more. You don't put it all in at once. Okay, so this is ricotta cheese, and the same kind of thing. You're just going to, and I like to use my hands, and I don't have a dish towel, but I just like to use my hands. I kind of pat it out and put it on top. You don't have to be so exact with it because you're going to put it in the microwave. It's all going to melt anyway. And then I like to put another, and the recipe is not this fussy, I like to put another sprinkle of seasoning on there.
Y'all, excuse me, I'm going to get a towel.
And get more of the sauce, Aldi sauce. We keep that. I go into the Aldi's and I get the whole flat of it and just put it in my cart so that I never run out. And David's like, why do you buy 20 cans at once? Well, because we use them, and I don't like to run out of that stuff. And who has time when you're crazy busy? Who gets to run to Aldi's all the time? Now my hands are messy, but I'm going to reach in here and just put a sprinkle of mozzarella, and I love mozzarella, and I probably would be putting more, but I'm trying to be, okay, yeah, a little more mozzarella. And remember, we're going to layer this up. And so the other thing that you can put, and I just love this, is pepperoni. And so I'll put a layer of pepperoni. Now, the recipe in the book calls for the pepperoni to be, we're making a mess. calls for the pepperoni to be chopped. We didn't have time to chop it today. And that's another thing I love about this recipe when you're crazy busy. What's wrong?
It doesn't need to be chopped.
It doesn't need to be chopped. I'm just going to take like 2 more and you can have the rest. That doesn't
Have
leave
these
you
in
with
the
a lot.
fridge.
Here. There.
It's okay. It's okay.
I just put 3
I'm
little
gonna use
pieces.
more sausage. So.
Yeah, so now we're going to repeat this whole thing. So I'm going to do another tablespoon and another tablespoon, right? I know. Tablespoon.
But it's so good. It's so simple, but
It's
it's
so
good. It's
simple.
fast.
And one of the reasons I do measure the tomato sauce is because that's where the carbs are. I mean, if you think about, oh, I had enough. I'm talking and not paying attention. So yeah, and that got full of something. I don't know. Okay, so super simple. A little more. There's the grandfather clock. For those of you who missed the grandfather clock, a little more Italian seasoning. Whoops, I jumped it all.
It's okay. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I'm out of practice. I don't want to just dump it all in there.
And there was Banjo.
And there's
in case y'all missed
Banjo. He'll probably say we didn't think about putting him away. All right, do yours.
Thank you.
You didn't, yeah, and you didn't put. Okay, so I'm doing 2 tablespoons because your vessel is so much larger. Because the cooking container is so much larger, you're going to want to use more sauce and stuff like that. That looks pitiful.
I want to use more sausage.
More sausage, yeah.
And more cheese.
I didn't do this. I should have paid attention to the measurements. I was looking at the recipe. Dave was like, you don't know the recipe? I'm like, well, it's been a while. But yeah, I'm just going to put a little more sausage because I'm starting to fill this up. And you don't want it to overflow in the microwave, right? But anyway, so there you have the rest. And then you can put a little more ricotta. I'm not crazy about putting a ton. Oh, and I did want to give a shout out for this ricotta. Like you guys know, I'm not like huge on products. I don't do endorsement and stuff. But what I do love about this, I wanted to say something about ricotta because ricotta carbs vary a lot. And normally what I found is the store brand is really good. And so make sure you're getting full fat. And so there's a store brand, actually it's Lowe's Foods around here, but the store brand of Lowe's Foods has the lowest carbs and it has the lowest carbs and it has the fullest fat. Well, I was in the store to get that and they didn't have the full fat. I guess I told too many people it was sold out. So what I found was this Galbani, and it's whole milk ricotta cheese, double cream. So I compared, I actually took a photo on my phone so I could show folks, but I compared the double cream with just the whole milk, and there are a lot fewer carbs. There are only 2 carbs per serving in that versus, yeah, like I wanted to say 6 in just the full fat. So if you can find the Galbani double cream, and by you're watching this video, it probably won't be there. Exactly. David's like just going on with this thing. Top it up with mozzarella. And like I said, this is a perfect serving for me. Not so much for him.
Perfect serving for me.
That's his perfect serving. So what I would do with this now is put it in the microwave. And the other thing, like this one, I can set it aside. So like, let's say I know that Jonathan will be home and I won't be there, or Grace is home. And I wonder if I could even freeze these because I freeze things for her. I wonder if I could even freeze it this way and then she could just microwave it. We may have to give that a go. We may freeze this one for her, but I can just put the top on it. I like, my hands are dirty, but I like to put another sprinkle of Italian on here because when the cheese melts, that fat from the cheese will hydrate the herbs and it's just good. It's just good. Yeah, you want?
I'll just take the bowl.
Okay. She doesn't want to touch my messy fingers. But anyway.
It's just, that's not big enough.
That's not big enough.
Good.
You can see I'm starving him to death around here. All right. So we're going to, what?
Mine's a bigger bowl, so it needs more Italian seasoning.
It needs more stuff. Anyway, so that's it.
But I think that's part of the point, though. Your measurements here don't have to be exact.
The measure, you can see, they don't have to be exact. I mean, watch the carbs of the tomato sauce. There's some carbs in the garlic powder, and the ricotta. But yeah, for the most part, this is really pretty low carb, especially if you stick to the single serving size. And then salt.
Like this.
I will say that the tomato sauce doesn't have salt. And another thing that you can do, I mean, you could, if you had to brown the sausage, put that in, put a little salt, you can taste it. But generally, sausage can be salty, and these can be salty, and you can always add salt. So I'm going to ask David to put this in while I wash my hands. I'm going to ask him to put this in the microwave. Actually, put that in there. And
1 or 2 or 3.
you can put them both in, and I can't remember how long, but what I have to look at the recipe. But what I tend to do is put it on reduced power. So I put it about 50 or 60% power and just do like 45 seconds, and then just keep doing little bursts until it's all melty. And what you'll see, if you let it go long enough, it gets all melty and bubbly, and the cheese will actually brown a little bit. And if you see, when you see the photo that's in the book, you'll see it's lightly browned on top. I did not bake that. I did it fully in the microwave. Okay, so the hardest part of this recipe is waiting for it to cool. And I wanted to point out, we didn't have a lot of dirty dishes. If you're using like your leftover ground beef or whatever, or sausage, you just put it in there. If you have to cook that, you have more to clean, but really it's just putting things together. And I had things in dishes, but you don't have to do that. Okay, so David says you need a fork. I say maybe a spoon. I don't know, and we just cooked these too. We put these away. And this is something that he can have for dinner tomorrow night. This is something I can have, or that I may put in the freezer and see how it does. I think that would be a fun thing to do for our daughter. Okay, so he's using the fork. It is hot, but you can see how the cheese is all melty. Yeah, doesn't it look amazing? It's lasagna. How can it not be good? Now be careful, because you're supposed to let it cool 5 to 10 minutes, and it's like just out of the microwave. So, and you can stir it up. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty, right? Okay. Look at all the cheese. Yum. This is too hot. Is that good?
Mm-hmm. It's very good.
And he says that the portion's not enough. So anyway, 5-minute lasagna. It's in Crazy Busy Keto. The recipe will be linked below, so you don't have to wait for the book. You don't have to buy the book. But I hope that if you make this for your family, that they enjoy it too.
They will. That is so good.
Easy. I love it. Easy.